Welcome to O'Fallon Township High School, new students. We're happy to have you as part of our school. This account orientation is going to help you get your account set up for OTHS, Microsoft Office 365, Blackboard, and Skyward. By the end of this orientation, a new OTHS student should be able to locate the OTHS education applications on the OTHS homepage, sign in to OTHS Microsoft Office 365 from any device, sign into Blackboard, sign into Skyward, and utilize the Panther Bytes videos for technology training. First up, we're going to talk a little bit about managing passwords. There's a lot going on right now if you're a new student at OTHS, even if you're not. So one of the things that you can do to make your life a little bit easier is to write down your usernames and passwords for when you need to reference them again later. You might have heard that you should never write down your passwords, and that is really good advice. However, if you do not use this password for non-OTHS accounts, basically if you create a new unique password for your OTHS accounts, you should be secure in writing it down. Where should you write it? School Planner would be a fantastic place where you keep and record your daily assignments. A notes app on your phone is also very useful because who doesn't always have their phone with them these days? Or a piece of paper that you are going to take a picture of to save to your camera roll could also be a place that you save it on your phone. Alrighty, let's get started authenticating these usernames and passwords. So we're going to start off with your OTHS username and password. Your OTHS username and password must be authenticated, which is what we're doing right now, before you can access OTHS Microsoft Office 365 applications. When you are able to use a computer at school, you will use your OTHS username and password to log into any OTHS student computer. So it's going to be really helpful for you in the future. All right, so go ahead and turn on or open up your device and go to a web browser. We recommend using Chrome. If you're on an iPhone, Safari should work for you too. And I want you to go to oths.us. On the home page, go ahead and find the Students drop-down menu. And when you go to the Students drop-down menu, you're going to select the Citrix Student ASP. Once you click on the Citrix Student ASP, you should see a spot to enter in a username and a password. Your username is your first name and your student ID number. So it looks something like what's on the screen, John222000. So your first name followed by a 22 number. And then your password is going to be your student ID number again. So that 22 number again in the password location. After you submit that, it's going to prompt you to create a new password. Go ahead and enter your student ID number again for the old password, and then enter in your new unique password. Once you submit that new password in the Citrix Student ASP, you can close out of that window and you should be back at the OTHS homepage. But if you're not, that's okay. Just open up a new web browser and go to oths.us. Now we're going to talk about the different web applications that you can use here at OTHS. The first one we're going to talk about is Office 365, which you can see on the home page. If you scroll down, go ahead and click on the Office 365 application. In order to sign into any of your OTHS Microsoft Office 365 applications, you will use your OTHS email address. Your OTHS email address is your first name and your ID number at students.oths.us. So from the OTHS homepage, if you've clicked on Office 365, you can type in your OTHS email address and then click the arrow, and you should be prompted to enter in a password. You should use the password you just created on the Citrix Student ASP. That password has synced up with all of your Microsoft Office 365 applications. If you can't quite remember it or it doesn't work the first time, go ahead and double check what you wrote down in your planner or on your notes app to make sure that you have your password correct. If you ever need to reset it, you can go back to that Citrix Student ASP or you can contact the computer department for help with resetting your password. Now, if you download any Microsoft Office application, like say you want to download the PowerPoint app onto your phone so you could work on the PowerPoint from your phone, this would be the same way you would sign in to any of those applications. You would also use your email address and that password that you've created. Congratulations! Now you can sign into OTHS Microsoft Office 365 applications. To learn more about using OTHS Microsoft Office 365, you can go to oths.us/pantherbytes. You might have found this tutorial on that website, but if you didn't, you can go there and you will find many more tutorials on Office 365. We highly recommend that you watch these in order to be successful using Office 365 here at OTHS. Now that you know all about Microsoft Office 365, let's talk about Blackboard and Skyward. First, you need to know where you will find the password that will initially get you logged into both Blackboard and Skyward. On your student schedule, you'll see a note that says Student Access Login and Password. The Student Access Login is your first name and your student ID number, and then the password is a password that has been created for you that you will use to log into Blackboard and Skyward for the very first time. If you don't have a schedule and you are in class, raise your hand and ask your teacher to print out a schedule or provide you with that access password. If you are remote, please contact computer department at oths.us. Now we're going to get your Blackboard account set up. So if you're not at the OTHS homepage, go ahead and navigate back to oths.us and scroll down to click on the Blackboard app. Every time you log into Blackboard, your username is going to be the same. It's your first name and your ID number. The first time you log into Blackboard, you're going to use that password that you found on your student schedule. So go ahead and look for that and type it in. Again, you can email the computer department if you cannot locate your password on your student schedule for any reason. To change your Blackboard password to your own unique password, go ahead and locate your account information in the upper right-hand corner. You should see your username up there. You can click on the drop-down menu next to your name in the upper right-hand corner, and from that drop-down menu, you need to click on Personal Information. Now click on the link to change password. Go ahead and fill in the current password that you found on your student schedule or you got from the computer department. And then you need to fill in your own unique password. Again, we recommend that you use the same password you used for the Citrix Student ASP and Microsoft Office 365. Whatever password you choose, go ahead and type it in again and verify your password and then click Submit. That is your new Blackboard account information. We recommend that you stop and you write down your Blackboard password if you chose to use a different password for Blackboard for any reason. Now that you can successfully sign into Blackboard, we highly recommend that you go to oths.us/pantherbytes and watch the Blackboard video tutorials. They will help you to be successful in learning at OTHS. Now we're going to get your account set up for Skyward. So again, go ahead and navigate back to the OTHS homepage, oths.us, scroll down and click on the Skyward application. The Skyward account setup is very similar to Blackboard. Every time you sign in, your username is going to be your first name and your ID number. And the first time you sign in, your password is going to be the one that you found on your student schedule. Again, if you do not have that password, you can contact the computer department at oths.us to locate your password. After you type in that password, click Sign In. Skyward should prompt you to change your password. If for some reason you didn't get a prompt to change your password, you can go into the account information in the upper right-hand corner and choose to change your password and follow the prompts from there. But if it did prompt you to change your password, you are going to fill in your current password found on your student schedule, and then you're going to fill in your new password. Again, we recommend that you use the same password you used for the Citrix Student ASP, Microsoft Office 365, and Blackboard. Once you have that typed in, go ahead and type it in again to confirm your password and then save and submit. You've done it! You have signed into all of your accounts. Great job! Again, we recommend that after you're done, you write down your password and then go to oths.us/pantherbytes to watch the Skyward video tutorials.